What's up, everybody? Aaron here. I'm going to show you a collection of items here in this little bedroom slash office of mine, of my Star Wars stuff. As you can tell by the poster behind me, we got The Empire Strikes Back, but I've got a heck of a lot more, much more interesting than that. And I want to start off by showing you what's up on this shelf here. And it's prominently displayed, as you can see, up on the wall. It's a shelf from World Market, first of all. It's about a $100 shelf, but I got it for a ridiculous $60. I guess because they haven't been selling a whole lot, but I thought this was perfect for this sort of display. But I want to go through everything that's in the room to show you what all I've got. So let's get started, especially with these guys right here. Okay guys, so I'm going to go through every single one here, beginning with this micro mini bust here. I got this out of a chocolate egg, not one of those German Kinder eggs. They're illegal to buy in America apparently. I guess it has something to do with the capsule being inside the chocolate egg, but I actually bought a Kinder Egg-esque item here in the States at my local grocery store. In fact, I've seen these over at Target, but the candy is not packaged with, well, it's not packaged in the chocolate egg, it's packaged with the chocolate egg in a box. So when you open the box, it's literally beside the chocolate egg. But anyway, they were given away as prizes inside the candy, mini Star Wars busts, and this was the one I was going after just because it's a Stormtrooper and I have a Stormtrooper collection. They have Rogue One eggs out now. I'll show you those when I get the chance. But yeah, I've got Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Yoda, and R2-D2, and of course the Stormtrooper to add to this little collection here I have. And then to the left of it, we have a Stormtrooper helmet, a Stormtrooper ornament, rather. Sorry. I like this because it's posed, like it's molded this way. I like it because it's the 3.75 inch Stormtrooper, but also it came with a stand. So I guess whoever made it decided, you know, people like me would use it as a display piece. In the rear there, we've got Stormtrooper Pez dispenser. 5 POA First Order Stormtrooper. We've got one from Power of the Force 2 with the muscular build. Here's the best one, especially in regards to head sculpt. This is the Rogue One Stormtrooper. This is the one that came with Baze Malbus and the 2-pack. Then we have this Mission Series figure. Terrible mold, but much better than this one here. This is TK421. Why aren't you at your post? This is the one that came with the, well, it was part of the Kmart exclusive scanning crew. That's a vintage collection style body, but the head and neck sculpt are actually brand new. It's just terrible. I mean, you can just, here's the three of them together, and you can just tell which one's more accurate than the rest. To the right of that, this fella here, we've got a Rebels Stormtrooper, and then this one's from Saga Legends. I thought this would be the more definitive one, but I was mistaken, because then they came out with the Vintage Collection, and the Vintage Collection ones are fantastic, except I literally butchered this one up. The one thing I didn't like about the Vintage Collection ones, especially if you open them, is that the helmet is very loose on the head underneath. It's of course like one of the clones. This is a 501st Trooper, and so I was never happy with it, and I wish I had kept them in the box, but I didn't, obviously. But as you can see here, I molded this one. This is my first customized figure. I molded this one after the Death Troopers novel. So it takes a little bit of zombie horror and Star Wars and mashes it together. It's a great book, but I would highly recommend listening to the audiobook, because it gets a little freakier that way. So yeah, that's what I made here. I actually have a video up on this trooper on YouTube, on this channel, so be sure to look for it. And then in the background, lurking in the shadows, we got a Death Trooper. And then moving back here in the background, let me move the light out of the way. Well, let me just. Sorry about that, guys. This is of the Death Star escape with Luke and Han disguised as stormtroopers. We got Luke in here. When you remove the mask, which obviously I can't do because it's an unopened package, we have Chewie in the middle and Han Solo right here on the right. So here, I like this background. I think the Death Star corridor there is pretty badass. Right above it, we have a Stormtrooper candy dispenser. And I like this, of course, because it's a Stormtrooper, and these seem to be my favorite guys. You got candy in there. I'm going to press the button on the back. Hopefully it won't disperse any candy. Oh, it should did. Uh-oh, a whole bunch of them, actually. And then it's a... Yeah, so, hold on. I got candy. Okay. Oh, shoot, there's 2 more. Oh, crap! Well, here we have a variety of figures here. Let's start with this guy here. This is my most recent customized figure. It's John Dutch Vander, the X-Wing pilot that you that was the, what was it, Gold Leader, the Y-Wing captain in A New Hope, and he just showed up in Rogue One. That's his body, but that's the face of possibly a G.I. Joe figure, a modern G.I. Joe figure. So his head fit perfectly, and believe it or not, it fits nicely inside the helmet. Oops, I just knocked down my Stormtrooper. I don't have a name for him yet. Let me pull him out of the shelf here. But as you can see, I painted his helmet green, just because you don't see a whole lot of green there in Star Wars, especially on the Stormtrooper helmets, or X-Wing helmets, sorry. But I like the dark and the light green together. So yeah, I made this guy, and I'm very happy with it. There is maybe one other customized figure on the shelf. Then we have George Sakul, which is George Lucas, of course, backwards. Yeah, he came out with his own figure. This is the first of 2. This is the X-Wing pilot one. I couldn't keep him in the bubble. I just couldn't do it because I love the X-Wing pilot so much. So yeah, George Lucas, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I believe that's right. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Here's 3 of the vintage, and I mean seriously vintage, Kenner figures, all from The Empire Strikes Back. We have a twin pod Cloud Car pilot, Bespin security guard right there, and then we have the Imperial Commander. Moving along, we've got Farm Boy Black Series Luke Skywalker. His shadow's in the way, so I'm going to create even more shadow. I like this mold personally, even though, yeah, he's got, you know, a very glossy plastic head sculpt and face, but whatever, I like it. And then we have the Funko Pops Master Luke Skywalker from The Force Awakens, number 106, and currently still the only quote-unquote toy we have of Master Luke Skywalker from The Force Awakens. Check this out, we've got a diorama that I made of the epic showdown between Kylo Ren and Rey from The Force Awakens. This is pretty much the gist of the diorama, although I don't consider it completed yet. I do want to add a few more trees, especially in the back, and maybe a little bit more debris, like on the snow escape, and maybe even make a tree look like it was recently hit by a lightsaber. Now, for all you fans of Return of the Jedi, I'm sure you guys know who this is. Good old Jabba the Hutt, the vile gangster. This is the Black Series 6-inch version of Jabba the Hutt. He didn't come with a whole lot of accessories. It was just Jabba. That Power of the Force 2 Han Solo carbonite block is in the background, hanging up on the wall. Thought it'd be kind of a neat way to display him. And as you guys remember, the original Kenner line, when you twisted his head left or right, the tail would pivot. But this one, when you move the arms, it'll open and close his mouth. Doesn't necessarily close them, just doesn't open it as much. The base, a lot of you might recognize this. This is the original 1980s Kenner Jabba the Hutt base, and the trap doors, which are located right there, would open and close when you twisted these pieces right here. And then there's the string with the little hook that you would wrap around Leia's head, or neck rather, or anybody's neck for that matter. And I just neatly tuck it away in there. There's Rappertoonie from Return of the Jedi, the special edition, the big musical number. For our creature feature segment, we have Aura Singh on the far right. Aura Singh is a Jedi bounty hunter from the Phantom Menace and the Clone Wars series. We have Unkar Plutt. We have Effant Mon from Return of the Jedi, one of those background characters that they made a figure out of. He is the heaviest and largest of the 3.75-inch figures. He is a pain in the butt to stand, so I actually have him on a stand to keep him up. He's pretty top heavy, and his mouth does open and close. We're going to skip ahead to EV-99. For those Return of the Jedi buffs, EV-99 is a female. This is the Power of the Force 2 version. I didn't get the Kenner version from the 80s. She was one of the last 17, and I could never find her. Or if I found her, my mom wouldn't let me get her. So I got the Power of the Force 2 version just to compensate. The original version did not come with this control pad or console here. So it came with the 90s version, and I just painted it just to give it a little more dimension there. This figure here, this is modeled after the Nagai. For those of you who follow the Marvel Comics, the 1980s version, after Jedi, they were introduced to a race called the Nagai, which was a warrior race, and they had very pale bluish grayish skin and very dark hair, and she is not of any particular character. I just had this figure laying around and thought, you know what, let me customize her for Star Wars, and that's what I did. This was actually on clearance over at GameStop. For those of you who don't know what a GameStop is, it's where they sell a whole lot of new and used video games and movie and video game collectibles. And this was on clearance for about 20 bucks, and I just went ahead and bought it. Stormtroopers are my favorite guy, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, I just could not pass it up. Over here we've got hologram figures, and I think these came with the Saga Legends. Whoops, not that one. Saga Legends figures before they started doing Build-A-Droids. But we have Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Stormtrooper, and Boba Fett. And uh-oh. Kitty. And then here we have a Darth Vader bust bank. I always will love these bust banks. I think they make fantastic display pieces. Here we go with an autographed Darth Maul figure, signed by Ray Park. He wrote, "I feel the Force" above Darth Maul's photograph on the packaging, and then I'm guessing this is it says Ray Park. I can't make it out, but to me, on the bottom there, it says Darth. Not Darth Maul, just Darth. And then we have another lame excuse to make another Luke Skywalker figure. This is the lightsaber construction Luke Skywalker figure. This is from a deleted scene in Return of the Jedi. And you can see this on the Blu-ray, the original Blu-ray release, the 6-disc set, maybe 7 or 8 discs now that I think about it. But the only thing that's different about this, I mean, it's basically the vintage collection Jedi Luke Skywalker, but the only difference here is that if you look carefully where my thumb is, there's a tool that he uses, and he used in this deleted scene to construct and finalize his green lightsaber. On the very top we have two of the original 1980s Burger King exclusive drinking glasses. This one of Lando on Bespin and Luke over on Dagobah. And then we have Princess Leia. This is an original Princess Leia Pez dispenser. I recently acquired this. thought it was really cool, and since Carrie Fisher's no longer with us, it's kind of, you know, important to have her things. Now here is the Knights of the Old Republic. This is Bastila Shan, who was the main protagonist in the Knights of the Old Republic video game. Now, considering that most of Knights of the Old Republic is no longer canon, I really hope that they incorporate a lot of this character into Rey, considering she's still a developing character, especially in regards to the way she's dressed, and a double-bladed lightsaber, especially a yellow one, would be incredible to see on the screen. I think that would just be perfect. I got to go back a little bit because I totally forgot. Since we just spoke of Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher, right behind the Stormtrooper bus we have the Princess Leia figure from her appearance in Star Wars Rebels Season 2. If you are debating whether or not to open this, don't open it, because the plastic on her arms is so ridiculously flimsy. We got three of our favorite characters from Rogue One. We got Jyn Erso, Baze Malbus, and Chirrut Imwe. These are fantastic. Wasn't planning on ever getting those figures. Boy, was I wrong. Now I have like 13 of them. Then we have a Tusken Raider vinyl 12-inch. And then we have Black Series 6-inch Luke Skywalker, Jedi Luke to be exact. And this Darth Vader right here, also part of the Black Series collection. This is actually the Emperor's Wrath Vader, but I like the head sculpt so much. It's far superior to the original Darth Vader Black Series version with the removable helmet, that I went ahead and painted his helmet and glazed it, and thought it'd be a better display piece than the first one, which I never got the first one anyway. I never thought I'd collect the 6-inch pieces anyway, but here I am doing it.